Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades. And today we're going to talk about what recently happened, which was the biggest transfer of Bitcoin in history and actually spooked the market a little bit. We're going to talk about possibly who that might be and what the next steps might be. Are we right to be scared? And of course, a whole bunch more. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people and, of course, does help support the channel. And if you're a new watcher to the channel, please hit the subscribe and you'll get the daily updates. So let's look about what spooked the market. And here it was, a record-breaking 50,000 Bitcoin, all over 10 years old, were moved today, marking the largest one-day shift ever for coins of this age. This surpasses the previous high of 3.7 thousand Bitcoin and includes coins linked to early miner block rewards. We also see here are the addresses. Bitcoin billionaire wallets are waking up. So far, 7 addresses have moved a total of 7.6 billion in Bitcoin. These addresses have all been holding since April to May 2011, over 14 years ago. And here we go, a dormant Bitcoin whale just moved the last 10,000 Bitcoin to a new wallet. Actually, 80,000 Bitcoin have been successfully moved to 8 new addresses, 10,000 Bitcoin in each. Now, it seems this is all one person. Some people have said, is this Satoshi? Some people have asked, is this Roger Ver? There has been other speculations out there. But, of course, you can track these wallets and keep an eye on them. And I'm following certain people who are tracking these wallets as well, and will update in the Discord and on X and any future YouTube shows if there are any revelations that come out of here. So just sitting there and waiting, and that did spook the market. That did spook the price of Bitcoin here. We do see, if we look at the charts there, we had seen a bit of a pullback. Now, of course, what happened was, first and foremost, Bitcoin was already having a little bit of a sell-off there, down from about 108 down to about 105, 105,000. It found some support twice, actually, on the Tribal Trades trend line. One line to rule them all, of course. And then we saw Elon Musk, the world's richest man, like a tweet that had suggested that he was quietly and secretly buying Bitcoin. That sent the price moving upwards until we saw what happened, which was this anonymous, so far, Bitcoin whale, or whales, have moved Bitcoin to these wallets. Why have they moved? Why have they broken up? There wasn't even a test transaction that was sent. They just 10,000 Bitcoin to each to 8 different wallets as of recording this video. Who do you think it was, and what do you think will happen with that Bitcoin? Is it going to be an OTC, which is over-the-counter sale? Now, if that's the case, it won't impact directly the price of Bitcoin. An OTC deal is where it would be me selling to you, you send me USDT, I send you the Bitcoin. Maybe we likely have an escrow account there, but it's not going to affect the price directly. And this is where MicroStrategy has been buying, all of their Bitcoin has been through OTC deals. This is why MicroStrategy is buying more. Why isn't the price pumping? Because they're not buying on the exchanges. It would affect the price too greatly. I wish he'd been buying on exchanges, really. And of course, he's been buying OTC, over the counter. So that's another possibility. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Who you think this is buying? What do you think it's going to happen? Are they just moving because obviously it was 2011? Maybe they're moving it to new addresses and new storage devices, more upgraded. Possibly, are they moving it to sell it, or are they moving it for some kind of a OTC deal? Those would be the 3 things that I would think. I think most people are hoping that they've just moved it for storage, just to have upgraded devices and maybe better security, splitting it open over 8 different addresses there. Very interesting situation there you have with Bitcoin. Now, of course, as long as we do see Bitcoin, the 9 EMA on the daily, that's my line in the sand. I'm still in my Bitcoin position from the 23rd of June. Now, I normally would have gotten out here, but I did not. I stayed in the trade because we had some support here, which ended up holding and I will remain in the trade. We just want to stay in the trade. Really want to see this trend line support hold this 105,000. But really, the 9 EMA is going to be the kicker. What I don't want to see is the 9 EMA go over the 20, and that's likely when I'll exit this trade. We see the 9 EMA well above the 20 at the moment. It would take multiple days below one or more of those EMAs for me to have a bit of a shift. And you do see how important this is, that whenever the 9 EMA has gone below the 20, and remember, for the 9 EMA to go below the 20, the price has to be below the 9 EMA. So it all starts with price dropping below the 9 EMA. That's the first warning signal. The second warning signal is if we don't get an immediate rebound, which we did, we touched, and we got that immediate rebound. The 9 did stay above the 20, and so the 9 didn't drop. But you can see here, just historically, when the 9 has gone above the 20, look at this, and stayed above, it just keeps getting wider, quite parabolic. But when it goes below, you can see how over here, and I have shown this before, there's the 9 going below the 20, and then price just struggles there. So that's with Bitcoin. But also with Bitcoin, remember, we have the inverse head and shoulders, and that has the technical target to about 140,000. And so right now we haven't broke out. We have the left shoulder, we have the head, we now have the right shoulder, and now all we need is the breakout. I'm going to put it at about 112,000 breakout, and that's got the technical target. Now, some of you ask, what is the technical target? What does that mean? All you need to do is go to ChatGPT, Grok, or go to Google and type in how is the technical target worked out for an inverse head and shoulders or for head and shoulders, and that will teach you exactly how I get my technical targets there. But I essentially have taken this line here, and I've taken it from the head to the neckline. So from the head to the neckline, and then I take it from the neckline. And it's always a little bit of a guesstimate. Some people say, oh, where is the neckline? Let's just say that neckline is around here, and that takes us up to about 145,000. That's how you get the technical target for an inverse head and shoulders, or for a head and shoulders, which is what you don't want to see. However, that's unfortunately what we have on the altcoin market. If Bitcoin has an inverse head and shoulders, sadly, the altcoin market has a head and shoulders, and I don't even want to draw I don't even want to. I think I will at some point if we start to see this play out, because this would just be too painful for too many people to see that kind of a drop. But this has bear market if this plays out written all over it. And I was speculating with Josh on his show just the other day how possibly, Ethereum, I felt, hit bear market levels. 200-week moving average is where Ethereum went to in the bottom of the last bear market, and it's where it was at recently. And so it's quite possible that Ethereum had its bear market. Maybe some altcoins had a bear market and we just didn't even realize it. However, I'm not going to speculate further upon that or whether that's the case or not, because this certainly yet doesn't feel like a usual bear market as of yet. However, you do see this inverse head and shoulders. You got the left shoulder, you got the head, you got the right shoulder. And so if we were to lose, I'm going to say this 200 moving average, again, which has generally been when you buy altcoins, and generally, again, would have been a great time to buy altcoins as per the Tribal Trades indicator. One indicator to rule them all gave a perfect entry there, and we had some beautiful upside until we didn't. And then we got the Tribal Trades indicator to the downside, which was a place to get out of those positions, which I did. Now, we might have a little bit of a reversal here. Maybe we'll have a green arrow, a green dot, not likely at this point, because we have to get into the oversold territory, but altcoins did get overbought there. But you can see how this was a very strong indicator to get out of the altcoin market here. And really, since December, altcoins have not seen any new all-time highs, and that's a concern that for 7 whole months now, we've not seen altcoin or the altcoin market. In fact, we've made a lower high there, and yes, we have made a higher low, so this will be interesting to see how this plays out. And of course, if we were to lose this level here, which is right now the 200 EMA on the weekly, that would certainly be curtains in my opinion there. But do we really want to wait for the altcoin market to go from 1.14 trillion all the way down to 822. And again, what do we look for? We go to the daily time frame and we look for the 9 EMA. And right now we're above it. We're above the 9 EMA there. As we zoom in, price is above it, and it's all kind of squeezed in there. Very hard to see because it's right where price is, but the 9 EMA is in there. And so if we see this 9 EMA that is right there on the 20, maybe we can just pause this and we'll remove some of these other EMAs. So we just remove those and you can see it's right on top of the 9 EMA. We can probably draw a trend line there to keep an eye on that one. Push the line across, there it is right there, and we'll make that a dark pink there, and that's our 9 EMA. And so we're above it, and as you can see, the 9 and the 20 were pretty much on top of each other. So we can see that 9 break and push above the 20. That could lead to some more upside. It also could lead to a possible golden cross. Now, we were heading for a golden cross, weren't we? And then all of a sudden, that's when the 50 goes above the 200, and then all of a sudden price took a downturn, and now they're moving in the wrong direction. We need the 50 to turn up and cross above the 200. I do think we should have at least one more good upside run for the altcoin market. Like I've showed in previous videos, you'd have to go back to, where we have seen decreasing returns whenever altcoins have had a pump, decreasing in length of time of the pump, and also decreasing also in how much of a pump those altcoins has had. So if we flick back to the weekly time frame, you can see the pumps just haven't lasted as long and has gone as strong. This was the last major pump that we had there. It was pretty much started in April and ended by the end of May. This one here lasted much long, starting in September and lasted all the way through to December. You can see the diminishing returns that is there. But we'll keep an eye on the altcoin market. When I decide to jump back into altcoin trades on any of the longer time frames, such as the weekly time frame, I will update. However, at the moment, you can see that the altcoin market has been struggling, but we are above the 9 EMA on the daily, and that is key, and that could lead to some possible opportunities literally today. Tomorrow, there could be a change in trend or a trend reversal change there. We're already seeing some nice upside here from the end of June. It's been a little choppy, but there is an upward trajectory there. What a nice little entry there on the Tribal Trades indicator. Now, if you do want to get the Tribal Trades indicator, time is running out. It is part of the Tribal Trades Discord. There it is, the Tribal Trades indicator. It is a paid indicator. You get it as part of your Tribal Trades Discord membership. One Discord to rule them all. Really, I could not be more, elated about some of the wonderful community trades that are being shared, the wins. We see Donut here just crushing out it in the stock market there with some fantastic wins. Nikola Tesla, as always, crushing it there in the Discord. April Parker, who only just learned crypto leverage trading a number of weeks ago from me, is absolutely crushing it in there, easily paying for the Discord for many months there. Love this. There's Nikola Tesla with some 10-minute trade, and then April with a 6-minute car ride trade making $216. We should make a video called the 6-minute trade, because really that's how quickly you can make money if you know how to do so. You can make money to the upside and to the downside. You can learn leverage trading in there as well. So some fantastic wins there in the section. And my favorite win so far, I think, is somebody else in the Discord sharing a trade, and then another member picking up on that trade and therefore making money on that trade. And this happened just here. Massive muscle. Big shout out to you. Big thanks here, sharing about a trade. And Kimber managed to make $45,000 on the trade. Absolutely incredible. And this is what the Discord is about. For me, it's not a community, it's a family. And we are an exclusive Discord. That means that we don't, it's not open all the time. It opens at certain times during the year. Right now it's open only until, now it was meant to be the end of June. I extended it to July 4th weekend, which finishes tomorrow on the 6th, but I'm going to push it out to the 7th. So July 7th, the 7th of the 7th of 2025. That will be the final day for people to sign up for the Tribal Trades Discord. After that time, it will go to a wait list and you won't get immediate access. You'll have to wait for us to open it again. But this gives you an opportunity to get in right away and not have to wait to be on the wait list. That's how that all works out. I mean, I can't even have time to go into all the incredible channels that we have in here. But again, the 7th of July is going to be your final date to get in that. And then we're going to close, and then it will go to a wait list there. All right, well, that's all we have time for today. Remember, tomorrow will be the Stocks on Sunday show. We'll cover all things stock markets. We're going to talk about what stocks maybe could possibly be the biggest winners of the big, beautiful bill. And until then, or until the next episode, which is tomorrow, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.